Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3 and the Japan campaign, and we are a little bit in advance of where we were at. It's because I've been reorganizing our military somewhat and building things up in a little bit more detail, to be honest with you, and hopefully improving things. We've moved over 14 infantry divisions that I would call kind of bog standard, top of the line, over to Tangshan. And yeah, we're continuing to build up now a relatively large motorized corps and some additional infantry units and things. So expecting some of those out relatively soon, which is good. In fact, we'll have fully organized, I think, our specialist light infantry brigades, which is no bad thing. And yeah, we're keeping everything else in the green. We're at 207 IC now, which is, hey, nothing to be sniffed at. That's pretty good. And we're doing the majority of our production at the moment, which is also really good. So, all in all, can't really complain, to be completely honest with you. I'm quite happy with how everything's going. Don't want to do a fuel trade. The war for the communist is still ongoing. The communist state is pushing itself. In fact, for escorts... Okay, so... yeah, we can't immediately pull up you. December 18th. Yeah, some techs and things finishing up relatively soon on the carrier side, so that's good. We'll get those done in current year. Export tungsten, no thank you. And freed up a little bit more resource. I'm hoping the upgrades will be nearly done, like... you know, some of this stuff has been what feels like kicking on for ages. It looks like most of our infantry is actually at the right level, so that's something at least. I would imagine the 300 and something odd units is probably, yeah, a lot of our naval assets that are upgrading at the moment, so that's fine. They're doing a 0.2, a 0.4 at a time. Okay. So it is reducing, and you're at 91% actually now, so that's good. Every little helps. If by the end of the month it was sub 30 IC, that would make me very happy. And we are doing pretty well with our officers. I mean, we need to push this up a little bit more, but it's not the worst thing ever. And nope, no export of tungsten. Yeah, we're doing pretty well across all of our resources at the moment. Not great, but it's okay. It's good to see them all in the green. And we've got the new projects available soon on this side of things, so that should help us a little bit. I would imagine the economic focus is going to kick up soon as well. And then, yeah, there's a little bit more reinforcement to do. And we've got a unit in Berlin. Okay, that's you, so we can send that cavalry unit to deal with that. Capital ship, medium anti-air, that's fine, we'll take that off. And we will do heavy anti-air guns because I want to unlock the next level of destroyer class. And get that building up nicely. Okay, we will move this fascist militia unit over as well, because I'm a little bit concerned that that battle doesn't look like it's going amazingly well. And January 1st, it looks like a motorized division will finish, so that's also good. Take armor plate thickness off. Got carrier damage control that we'll take off as well. Great war analysis and rolling artillery. Happy with that. We'll want to go on to operating techs in a second as well. Start preparing to upgrade our units ahead of the battle with the nationalists. Okay, they did actually take some land back by the looks of it. I don't know when that war ends. Probably start of next year, I would imagine. Be very interesting if they can take the capital from Zybizan Mar. Right, capital ship, heavy anti-AA, 39, sure. And yeah, let's get recon unit coordination. Anything that gives our units a speed boost is going to be very helpful, because hopefully we can destroy a bunch of Chinese units. Okay, double hangar, cruiser damage control. And we'll get the armoured unit training as well to get our armoured divisions a little bit improved. Because we've got a decent amount of armour. It's not great, but, you know, 4 light tank units. And bearing in mind I'm thinking about building out some of these as well, is no bad thing. It's better to take some of our cavalry if we can and organise. And there's Christmas Day. And you know what? We will do that trade, Britain. We will give you some fuel to drive some more money our way. Never a bad thing to me. Just dropped a little bit of IC efficiency. That I'm less fond of. And that's a lot more on the old income front. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more. Right, so a little bit extra basic training there. Economic, stage, focus. Was driving up our stuff a little bit more. Bank for international settlements. So we lose some supplies. We can do science investment, or we can do banking investment, or industry. I think we want to do industry again. The IC is always worthwhile. Interesting to see how much we gain from the economic bonuses as well. So 218. We're doing a full production queue. Nice. And we're doing a little bit more into officers. Got 39 pumping out, or 81% officer ratio. That's still not great, but it's going in the right direction. And it is another glorious sunny day in the UK. Personally, I don't like the warm weather very much, but, you know, I can't have it all my own way. It can't be cold all the time. Right, standard... Yeah, okay. Standard branch kind of side of things. Armored units. Yeah, happy with all of that. Got the closed hangar safety features as well, finishing up soon, which is going to get them a little bit more hull strength, not a little bit more hull strength. That would be a very different kind of thing. Okay, and we've just freed up a little bit more industry. So what do we need? So the majority of you are being built up. We've got another motorized unit that we could do some work with, and we will. All 3 of you have got different needs, so you need... So you're organized, really. Like, I mean... Yeah, so we can transport you over, actually, as one of our kind of mainline infantry divisions in a bit. You guys... So yeah, the pack artillery is probably fine in here. And the guard unit there is probably fine. So you're a unit of 7, you're a unit of 7, so both of you are good to go. Probably want a motorized infantry out of you. An armored engineer there and a truck. And then maybe a tank destroyer. But you need an artillery, so that's fine. Okay, a little bit more into the production queue on those. It'll be the 12th of Jan for those other units. Economic boost. So I think for this time, yeah, we're at 62 on neutrality. Kind of happy with our stuff. I'm thinking economic spying and then a long-term investment once again. And then what do we want? What do we think will be better for us? So what have we got options-wise? So we've got mining. So national highways would be a little bit of supply throughput. Probably the railway. So railroad tycoon, a railway station in every village, sure. A little bit more supply throughput. And 2% on the old IC efficiency. Okay, and then mobile unit command and control, sure thing. We want to at least build some tank units, and I think we're going to focus on the army this time, just to kind of support a little bit with our unit building. So some units, some people are left. We've got the cannon. So the company was originally named, I'm going to say Cannon. Cannon by Goro Yoshida after the Buddhist Bodhisattva Guanyin, known in Japanese as Canon. In 1934, it produced a prototype for Japan's first ever 35mm camera with a focal plane shutter, which I imagine is this here. In 1947, the company name was changed to Canon. Good work. Okay, nice. So, got a couple of things there that have just jumped up a level. Was it under capital? I think it might have been the fire control stuff. I can't remember what it was, but that's nothing to worry about. I'll go back and rewatch this. Like, brain fog hit me there for a second. But it's not a bad thing. How, actually, from a radar perspective, if we wanted to go ahead with you... You're 4 years ahead in research. And you'd be done in September of 38, so it's a little bit better than it was. How about on avionics systems? And you'd be a 38 finish as well, that's fine. We won't do that for now. We want to try and get that officer ratio to continue its upwards trend. Okay, so light infantry branch upgrades. Sure thing, and we'll let that ride. And then Japan begins secret program of naval construction. So the IGN of World War II was administered by the Ministry of the Navy of Japan and controlled by the Chief of the Imperial Japanese Navy General Staff at the Imperial General Headquarters. In order to combat a numerically superior American Navy, the Japanese Navy devoted large amounts of resources creating a force in superior in quality whose object being making up for quality or quantity by means of quality. Consequently, at the beginning of World War II, Japan probably had the most sophisticated navy in the world. Good work. So we gain a reduction in naval build time, Naval base efficiency plus 10%, but a reduction in IC of 2%. And we can choose to examine our shipyards. So, the industrial capacity of our shipyards needs improving to keep pace with the Navy's demands. All naval units will be increased by production speeds. You can either spend valuable resources to bring a series of 10 new shipyards or improve production of existing shipyards for a short time. New shipyards will be created according to the naval base levels of provinces. If your naval bases, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's build new shipyards, including in Iwo Jima of all places. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that because we haven't got a huge amount in the production queue at the moment, naval asset-wise. It's mainly military stuff that we've got in there. And we've got Yuzuru Hiraga's new designs. So, how are we looking? Yeah, we are on top of pretty much all stuff, which, again, no bad thing. So you're all organised and relatively strong units. So let's transport you over. And then it becomes a case of like these kinds of units and things here. So you could do like an armoured engineer. You infantry units. So some of you are relatively well stocked. It's really just you three that I'm looking at now. So let's bring you over to there. And there's our additional shipyards coming online. Cruiser fire control. Take that away. For mobile unit training. Okay. Okay, and we will have some more stuff done in like January time, in literally the next couple of days. So that will let us build up a little bit more. Our terrible cavalry unit is unable to defeat a militia unit, so that I'm not overly impressed with. In fact, I would define that as very not impressive. Terrible, even. And then let's move you over to there, because we want the MPs over there. Okay, and the Brits just cancelled a fuel trade, probably out of money. Okay, and then that's the first one of you. So, let's get you in. And all these people want to do dodgy fuel trades. No thank you. Okay, and Zabi-Zanmar has stayed at war with the communists, which is interesting. They signed a peace with the nationalists and lost a little bit for that privilege. Be very interesting to see how Zabi-Zanmar deals with an ongoing battle. I won't imagine it will work for them particularly well. Okay, and then there's some more of our units to fill out these divisions here. There's only 2 left. And a tank destroyer will be finishing up soon as well, which I think is your... Yeah, that's a you thing. Okay, that's good. So we can get you over. Yeah, they're helping that production queue. And then we'll move you down there. We're gonna want a couple of landing forces, I think. We're gonna want the Marines to probably land in Shanghai and control that area there. We're probably going to want the specialized light infantry to land in Lianggang and then push up the peninsula towards Jinan and Qingdao. And then we will move our own forces southwards. A bit of an ongoing sucker punch. And our unit will hopefully reinforce that battle. Right, Special Forces branch upgrade. Don't mind if I do. And we are doing, yeah, a full production. In fact, we did just finish, didn't we, a capital tech. So we've got a lot of stuff that's already at the right level. So it's just capital ship armament that's at 36. And we need steel. Okay, so we need the casting techs to come up a level. That's fine. And how's your national unity looking following that war? 96.2, so it did come up a little bit. Now, if they can keep this battle going for a relatively long time, then all of the communist troops will be distracted, hopefully. That would be very good for us. So yeah, the energy trades are absolutely brilliant. Okay, as is doing all of the production queue, with another motorized unit out at the end of January, and then a load more stuff coming online in Feb. So that'll give us a bit of time. If I wanted to produce a light armored unit, 200 days. I don't know how long that is. I'm trying to think. Is that months? How long is that? That's 200 days. So how long would you take? 100 days. So how many months is that? So 90, 180. Ooh, it's cutting it close, isn't it? That light armoured brigade. Okay, we might need to bear that in mind if we want to build that. We might be better building something else with our time. In fact, if we want to build some more infantry tanks, because we've got the tech for that, and we are on Grand Battle Plan, what would that kind of cost us? So it's only 140 days. Costs 13 IC, although you can make that less than 10, and it's 23 for 3 of them. Might be worthwhile, actually. Might be worth thinking about. Yeah, we'll have a Because we could build you out with just like attachment units. And do something like that. In fact, that is, I think, a better idea. Because we've already got like an infantry tank kind of unit set up, right, under you. And it would just be an expansion of that. Right, capital ship damage control advance. Right, and then we've got rudders, hull carrier shape. Yeah, that's good. Do like cruiser carrier class, sorry, and get that done as soon as possible. And then we can do both the direct fire ones. And so you would need an infantry tank and an engineer. Okay, that's doable. And you would need an infantry tank, an engineer, and an artillery. So if we wanted to do infantry tank, artillery, and engineer for one, and then just 2 like that. June 11th. Okay, that's fine with me. We'll do that. Because a lot of this stuff will be finishing up soon. Right, carrier screws. Right, get next level of military police. And then, yeah, more fuel techs there that they're working on. Right, the 2-for-1 battle should be coming along quite nicely. We'll use them to break through into the capital regions, I think. Especially when we're going to have all of our upgrades, I think, done pretty soon. I'm hoping that you'll speed along some of those other motorized ones. And you just need an artillery, so that's fine. And your upgrades come in. We'll move you over there. Okay, and then, yeah, I can see a nice little finishing off on that one. We'll postpone both of those. Politics-wise, looks like we're doing okay. The Stalinism is filthy. That I don't like. That's a depressing amount of Stalinism going on. Any other commanders that we'd like? Sadly not. Now, normally supply throughput I quite like. But, oh well, it is what it is. You're just an IC upgrade, which is quite nice. No. Yeah, there isn't really anyone here that we want at the moment. The silent lawyer at some point might be good. And yeah, early February is another kind of jumping off point. Okay, so you're good to go. And you're nearly good to go. You finish up tomorrow, so we'll also be getting you over there. Or not. And what do you need? Just an artillery. Yeah, so you're a quick turnaround. Some of these are quite straightforward. Some of them less so. Okay, so guard units. Get you over there as well. Yeah, we want these motorized units in a really good place. Okay, yeah, and another 6 done, so no harm in that. And then load up both of you in transport. Okay, so what do we need? You need an artillery. So we will put in an artillery for you. Okay, and then who's next? So got 1 artillery needed for you, and then you're filled out. You need a light armor as a minimum. Yeah, so a light armor. An armored engineer. It depends how expensive. So a light armor, yes. And an armored engineer. 12 is quite expensive. But 4 is quite slow. And you've already got a transport. Yeah. And you're needing the same thing. Could do an anti-tank. On the cheaper end. Yeah, we'll do that. Will be good for the future. So that sorts out another 3 of you. And you're ready to go already. Okay, and then it's whatever I want to fill out those 2 infantry with as well. Shouldn't be too long. Okay, and we are keeping the carry attacks running, I think. %80 is a little bit lower than I would like, so we're going to want to shift over to officer recruitment probably in April, I reckon. Maybe even March. Yeah, so all of these are worthwhile. And I would imagine a lot of the infantry and things are going to finish up in a hot second. And how goes our units organization? Yeah, they're still slowly but surely upgrading. It's slow going. Right, and then a motor torpedo boats. Ah, I think they're done. Okay, they're up to the right level now. Okay, that's good. Wrong command. I want to do Division HQ. No, no, no. No trades like that, please. Oh, and they got peace. Ah. But they took Lanzhou. Okay, so Xaibizanmar is a rump state now, and Communist China is actually quite large, which is interesting. With a few major cities at this point. Like a little bit of a mountain stronghold they've got themselves here. And happy for them to build a light cruiser. Right, energy for money short. And carrier torpedo protection. Yeah, both of those. Kind of want to do the carrier armor thickness and then start moving stuff slowly over to officer production soon enough. And a big no to all of those. Spammed. Spammed for stuff. They want a bit of everything. And another infantry unit coming online down here. a little bit more out of the old upgrades queue. And I think I will call it an episode here. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I look forward to seeing the next episode of Hearts of Iron 3 and the Japan campaign. Thanks again. Bye-bye.